Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boy Mo, and this is the Supercast where we talk about all things superhero and our pop culture media. That's movies, TV shows, video games. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all of that good nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast today, you know what to do. Get down there and hit like on this video. So, man, we are in an amazing time for pop culture. I know this isn't superheroes, but it's superhero adjacent. Sinners is tearing up the box office. Next week, we got the Thunderbolts coming out. And in the meantime, you know, there's all this stuff going on about Supergirl, Superman. It's a crazy time to be a superhero fan. And I don't want to nerd out about this by myself. Coming back to the show, our good friend Polly of Co-Mixed. How you doing, Polly? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. It's great to see you because last week I couldn't do the show because I didn't feel well, but I'm great. Like really happy and really excited to be back here.
Yeah, good to see you and back in good health and good spirits. And I saw your cat there, so she
Yeah,
seems to be in good spirits too.
she's always in good spirits.
Yeah, I mean we're hanging out. What you been up to that's nerdy lately?
Oh, I've been reading some comics. I've been like reading the new comics and newly released. I'm checking up on what's going on with Doom, of course,
Mm,
always. Yeah, and watching some nerdy stuff. Well, definitely watched Sinners, of
yes,
course.
yes.
That was like the highlight of last week. It was amazing.
Have you seen it
And that's
twice?
about it.
Have you seen it? You've seen it twice now?
No, I haven't seen it twice yet, but I'm planning to like
Hmm.
see it at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. And yeah, I definitely hit it up. Release night, which I think I even said in a on Threads, I was like, "Yo, this place is 3/4 full," and this is about it's the set. It's the in my theater was the second biggest theater, the Dolby theater, 3/4
Mm.
full, and everyone was locked in, and like I've been really impressed by. I think this movie's gonna have a ton of legs. Like it's gonna be 5 6 weeks in and still pulling like at least 3 4 million per weekend, which is for a movie like this, 3 4 million on the sixth or seventh weekend is great. It's because it's going to make most of its money in the first 2 or 3 weeks. There's a lot of foolishness going on like in the media about whether this is a success. It's
Yeah,
bullshit. It's some bullshit. It's some good old Hollywood bull. It's you ever heard of Hollywood accounting when they're just like, I don't know, this really successful movie just didn't make any money. We can't pay you. I'm like, get the
yeah,
fuck out of
yeah.
here. That's why Ryan Coogler's smart. He got first dollar gross. And if y'all know what first dollar gross is, he gets paid before the studio gets paid. So like once this thing crosses profitability, he gets paid first. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to go see it again. And
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just putting other black people on notice. I'm peer pressuring you. Take your ass to the theater. There's no excuse for this. If you could get up and go watch
Mm-hmm.
you could go watch
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther after not having seen one damn MCU movie. You can go see this shit. So make it happen. Um, I
Facts.
I've been doing some nerdy stuff too. I've been watching anime, believe it or not.
Ooh,
If you
I have not been doing that.
I don't watch a ton of it, and here's the thing is I'm not drawn to the sort of anime that most people are. I don't watch a lot of shonen anime. I mean, I have in the past, but as I've gotten older, I'm like, it's a power fantasy, whatever. I like fun stuff, so I love isekai uh stuff. But these weren't isekai. But I started watching Lazarus, which is from Shinichiro Watanabe, who created Cowboy Bebop. So this is an anime, and it's running on Adult Swim right now. It's about a miracle drug that actually is a ticking time bomb for everyone who's taken it, and like in 30 days, people are going to start dying from it. So this team has to go find this guy, who has the cure that created the drug. And it's fun. It's like if you like some of the aspects of Cowboy Bebop, like Spike, kind of flipping around and beating the hell out of people and being kind of a cool dude, it's for you. But it's also got a little bit of, I think it's got a little bit of Ghost in the Shell in it too. So I love Ghost in the Shell and I love Cowboy Bebop, so it's right up my alley. Also, I started watching another show. And I had to write it down because it's a long title. It's called From Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. And it's a
That's also an anime show, right?
yeah,
Of course.
it's based on a Japanese light novel, but it's about a guy who was a sword, teaching sword play in a small town, and he thinks he's just like just a small town nobody, and he's not really that good at the sword. But he's all of his students, like a bunch of his students, have gone on to become amazing, like soldiers and swordsmen and adventurers, and they all are like he's the best teacher. uh, and it turns out he's actually good, quite good. So, and there's magic and stuff, and it's a fun little show. It's also a little weird. Like, it's weird in that sense that, like, he's like 40 something, 45 or whatever, something like that. And all of his students, there's like all these female students, and they're all getting the little blush around him, and he's like, oh, I remember you were like, yeah, when you were little, you're so good at the sword and everything, and he has no interest in them at all, and they're all doing that weird thing like that in anime where the girls are just like, I have a secret crush on, and I'm like, please don't play through this to the like, because
Yeah,
he's
just keep it
no, because they
normal.
were literally kids, and he was just like, "Man, I'm so proud of you guys now," and they're all like being weird about it. It's very
Yeah,
like
that's
I'm like Japan, stop it,
some Reed
please.
Richards bullshit.
Yeah, well, except no, Reed could never be this cool a guy. Like this guy,
Oh no, yeah, that's
he's a
true.
genuinely like good guy, and he just wants to be better at the sword. He doesn't think he's all that
Mm.
good, and he every time he's always got an encouraging word for all of his students, even though now they are like stratospheric in terms of their world. And he's just like, no, just I'm not even paying attention to that. I'm just, I'm from the country. I don't know anything. I'm just here. And they're being weird. And I'm like, why are y'all making this? Why are y'all making this so strange? It's a fun show. I quite enjoy it, and it's not one of these things where you're super like tense or like everything's like dramatic. It's not. It's just a fun little show. It's the sort of thing I need in my world. So, um, oh,
Definitely.
oh, and I can't. I know this is a long intro to this show. Y'all just gonna have to bear with me because I got to brag about my nerding on a budget. I did drop an episode talking about thrift shops that you guys should check out if you want to like figure out how to get like me, because you see all that stuff in the background. Didn't pay full price for that. Even though I will say I was persuaded to pre-order the Crypto and the Superman Funko Pops for full retail price because I'm just so geeked up for that damn movie. We'll talk about
Have they
that later.
arrived yet?
No, they're not coming till June and July. So
Oh,
we'll talk
shit.
about that later. How geeked I am for Superman. But let me show you all the cool shit I got in the last couple weeks. Um, you see my guy right here. It's the Superior Iron Man, based on
Oh.
the comics. I haven't read the
Mhm.
comics with Superior Iron Man, but it looks damn cool. This was $6. $6 American. Can you believe? I want to also show you some. I have to put this together. This is a model kit. It's a snap
Oh
together
my
model kit,
god.
but it's Grogu. Yes, I think it's, what do they say? It's a 1/4 scale. Some I already
That's
have.
so
You see,
cute.
I already have the little Grogu right there, and
Yeah.
I have two more pops of him, and you can't see it, but I also have a little plushie of him too. So I'm gonna put this together at some point. That was I want to say that was $8. All right, so now these are my Amazon buys. Look at look at Meek from Love and Thunder, dressed like he's going to teach school. And I want to. I've been meaning to get this one from the Marvels, so
Oh,
Photon. So now
yeah.
I have Carol, I have Kamala, and I have Monica. Um, but
Well, you got them all.
yeah, also I got Monica from WandaVision in her little suit. Um,
Oh, that's cool.
Thor: Love and Thunder. I have one Gore. I have the second Gore variant, which was pretty cool. Um, I have also I got Sabine Wren. So from was this her Star
From the
Wars?
show
Yeah.
or from the cartoon?
It just says Star Wars, so I'm gonna assume it's just from the cartoon. Well, actually, I think it's based on the show. Uh, but so got Sabine Wren, and I've been trying to get a lot of Black Panther stuff. So this is Shuri from Wakanda Forever in
Mm-hmm.
her purple suit. I already have a purple suit, one of her, but she has on sunglasses. And this wasn't anything I acquired as like that I bought. This is something my sister actually sent me because my birthday's tomorrow. So she wanted,
Oh,
and she knows I like Marvel stuff. Look at what she got me. It's the
oh my
Disney
God,
branded Infinity Gauntlet mug. I will never
this
drink
is
out of this
amazing.
because the gems are like plastic and they're pasted on. But I'm definitely gonna sit it up somewhere nice because, and it even says it says I am inevitable on the thing. That was really cool. My sister, she knows I'm a big old comic nerd, so
Of course.
so she called it right. I was like, that's actually a really great gift. So yeah, man, I've
I
been
love it when like friends and family give you gifts that you actually enjoy
yeah.
as an art.
Well, if they pay attention, like I'm easy to shop for.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding.
absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
very easy to shop for, but like they'll just be like, I'm just gonna send you some money. I'm like, okay, I'll spend it, but my sister was like, no, I'm gonna send you something, and that was really cool of her. So yeah, there we go. I've got more stuff to add on, and now as of now, with those Funkos, I'm now at I have 26 more, and trust me, I'll get to that before the end of the year. I will have 200 Funko Pops. So,
Oh.
I you see that little blank? You see that blankness right?
You're gonna
Is
need
that
another wall.
I don't know. I've already they're spilling. Oh, you can see right here. They've spilled over. But
Yeah, I see that.
I'm gonna fill up that little blank space right there. And
Also, is that like is that Funko Adorbs Black Panther or Killmonger?
both. Well, both. Here, I'll grab them.
Well, because I think I have Killmonger.
I have
Oh, they're so cool.
I have both.
Yep. Oh no no no! I have Black Panther. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got both. Out.
Yeah.
And these are actually because they're old now. They're actually really hard to
Uh
find
huh.
for a decent price.
Yeah,
Um,
I know.
unfortunately, I found those at a as usual at one of the little surplus retail shops for pretty cheap. So hey, it's years on if you want to complete your collection. That's actually when it gets expensive. So well anyway, I feel I've derailed this enough. We are going to talk about superhero stuff today. We got a decent amount of stuff to talk about. Like I got a humble brag about a couple things. I got some shout outs from some, celebrities because that's just how I roll on social media. Uh
I saw that.
also, Miles Kate, is it Caton or Caton? Talks about who he wants to be in the MCU. Uh, Haley
It's
Steinfeld,
really hard to guess.
yeah, I mean, pick a black person in the Marvel universe, but Haley Steinfeld talks about working with Florence Pugh, and I really just want to take this time to talk about what I want to see from them in the MCU. Uh, rumor slash leak of RDJ as Doom. We have a rumor about the casting for the next Black Panther movie. We have some set photos, behind the scene photos from the Doomsday shoot, and you might be surprised with what you see. Also, we're going to talk about these leaked Jason Momoa Lobo set pictures and the fact that they probably fake. and why do we keep, why are we falling for fake things in this day and age? Beau DeMayo talks about racism at Marvel Studios, and we're going to talk about the Superman behind the scenes video for Superman Day, the new Fantastic Four trailer, and finally talk about Daredevil as it ended its first season. So it's a lot of stuff to talk about. Polly, you ready to get into this?
Um,
All right, well, let's go. Um, First of all, I want to pat myself on the back because someone rich and famous noticed me. Everyone, it's 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 finally happened. Where Marvel starts sending me my shield checks because like famous people said something in response to me. I'm clearly an influencer. Uh, this
Finally, yeah.
I'm,
This is what fame feels like.
yeah, I mean,
Soak it in.
I'm internet famous amongst like
Which
literally,
is the best kind of
yeah,
famous.
literally thousands of people know that someone said something to me. Uh, so I I made a joke like Simu what he's gonna be in Doomsday, and he's like, "Yo, I'm not gonna sit here and be like Ruffalo and Tom Holland and just be saying shit on the internet. I like Marvel's not gonna let me do that. I'm not gonna do that." And all I said, I was like, "Look, all I need you to do is confirm that Madison is gonna be in it and that she's instrumental in bringing down Doom." And it's a fun joke. I love the Madison character, and she's the least likely character to be in Doomsday, right? Which I will have egg on my face if they just throw her in as a cameo, because we know Wong is going to be in it. So, look, it's just a silly joke, and he did reply to me actually. Serious surprise. He said, love her in every universe, and I was like, y'all seem, or there you go. I can log off the internet today. There's no reason for me to stay on the internet today. It's never not gonna get any better than today.
Yeah.
So that was cool. All right. Also, it's great that Simu likes Madison because I think that's a red flag if you don't like Madison. If you don't like Madison, pretty much no reason to associate with you. You're wrong. You're
Yeah.
categorically wrong about
What's the picture that they show that you were not invited?
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
Like get out of my internet. Also,
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan liked
Take your banjo.
You're a banjo. I'm glad you're saying that because like Michael B. Jordan liked one of my posts about sinners.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And
I was so jealous.
But he or more likely his social media manager has been has been like on the threads.
It's like like a person who just discovered the threads.
Yeah, he just joined threads. He's like, wait a minute, I have to like everything. I have to like every single thing. And so
it's like a whole. It's a second job. Like he can't be doing it himself because that's like a full-time job.
Yeah, he's just like he probably had the assistant's like, what do you think about this one?
Or maybe he does have a twin.
Or Michael A. Jordan is like, I'm on threads, y'all. So first of all, I do love that, he or his social media manager is like on threads, like full court pressing everything. So like, I'm not the only person that got a like from him. Like plenty of other people did, talking about Sinners. So that was cool, but still, I just want to say I'm internet famous now. You guys can no longer address me by Mo. You have to say Mr. Kane or something like that. And don't look me directly in the eyes. So just saying. Speaking of Sinners, which by the way, great. You should go see it. Also, we're not talking about him enough because Michael B. Jordan, he takes up so much oxygen in the room. It's hard to like, and by the way, deserving. He's great in the movie. But other people were really great in the movie too. The young man Miles, I'm gonna say Catton until someone corrects me. Miles Catton, who plays Sammy, aka Preacher Boy. in the movie was amazing. He was fucking great. Not just this, like he sings. He's great at singing. His play, guitar playing, everything like. But he's actually like he's holding his own against Michael B. Jordan is a seasoned professional. Wunmi Masaku, seasoned professional. Jack O'Connell, seasoned professional. They've been at it, right? They've been doing this. They're all great. He is holding his own in his first role. His first role in Hollywood, period. Right? Just on point. So on the press tour, they were like, "Well, do you want to be in the MCU?" Which is, I guess, is everyone's question about, They ask it literally everyone. Question. They're like, Mikey Madison, you just won the Oscar. Do you want to be in the MCU? It's just like asking someone, do you want bags of money to just be dumped at your house? I'll think about it. I don't know.
No, you know what? It's not my thing, really.
Well, so of course he says yes, right? But he said, "Hey, my name is Miles. I'm just saying, who else could I be?" To which I say, "Sure, why not? Why not? I mean, we know you can act. Let's go." What do you think?
Well, I don't know how old he is, but Miles is a teenager. I don't know how old Miles is now, but
let's find out. My man,
but I mean,
he is apparently 20 or 21, something like that.
That's acceptable to play a teenager, I guess, because everyone does it.
I mean, Tobey Maguire played a teenager when he was 37.
Well, so. we I think he was 50.
I mean, he might have been 40-ish. I don't know. Nah, he wasn't, but still. Joe Manganiello was playing a teenager in the first Spider-Man, and there ain't no way that man was out there.
Being a teenager was different back then.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
They looked older. It's some hard living, okay? It's not like now.
I think he could do it though. He looked. Because I want to say he was playing a 16 or 17-year-old, or it might have been he was almost grown but not grown. So I mean, fine, that was cool to me.
Yeah, I think that he was around the same age in the movie, so I think he can pull it off. And if that's a thing, I don't know if he has the same origin, because I would prefer it if it was
Afro-Latino. Yeah. I agree.
And I don't think that he is, though.
No, he's black. Sure. He black. He just as far as I can tell.
There's a lot of other parts, and having him in the MCU would be great. I don't make any decisions, but I sound like I do.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree.
we will be in contact with him.
I mean, honestly,
he
could be Patriot. I mean, I don't know that the guy that plays Patriot right now has done anything except just be in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, I mean, but there's other roles. He's not, there's not a that's not the only.
There's yeah.
So, well, I mean, cool. I want to see him in the MCU, and honestly, if Kevin
also, I don't think that MCU is going to use Miles, or do they have the rights to him even? Because it might be one of those situations where people think that they're in a Marvel movie, but it really is Sony.
Well, I honestly think that it will be foolish. Sony would be foolish at this point to try anything unless they get their Kevin Feige or James Gunn. In fact, that should be just the MO of every single studio that's trying to have a connected universe franchise. If you don't have a Kevin Feige or a James Gunn, forget about it. Don't even think about doing it.
We ain't seen what James Gunn is doing yet.
But I mean,
in terms of a shared universe of a connected series of movies, so that's going to be exciting and interesting to see.
Yeah, but we'll see. I'm sure Kevin Feige's got this guy's contact information, and he's thinking what can we do? Because that's the way they do. As soon as someone hits, let's get on the phone with him. So we'll see. We'll let you guys know if anything happens there.
Yeah, besides, like, everyone he knows now in Hollywood pretty much worked at some point
Well, here's the
with
best thing
Disney for the MCU.
here's the best thing that
And I
my
think Ryan Coogler is still shooting the Black Panther 3,
oh
right?
yeah, he's definitely going to. And I bet you Miles gets a role somewhere in there. He's kind of because Ryan Coogler's a bit like James Gunn. He's not as
Mm-hmm.
egregious about it, but he definitely leaves the door open for any of his prior
Yeah.
actors. But yeah, I think Ryan Coogler, if he says this guy's got it, and by the way, I've seen it in the interviews, he says this guy's got it. Feige will listen. See, that's one thing I don't think people really quite understand. You know how few people get to like actually come back to the MCU and make whatever they want. Ryan Coogler is besides James Gunn, name another like what is it from the Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man. Uh
Mm,
I keep wanting to say Mark Webb. That's not right. Uh
somebody want to say Watts or John Watts?
yeah. He gets to come back. Remember because he made a trilogy, right? But
Yeah.
Coogler, I think, is and James Gunn are unique in the MCU in that they not only get to come back and direct the entire trilogy, they get to have a lot more creative control about what's happening in those movies because they're writing them, right? Uh, John Watts, I don't think was writing. If he was writing, he was co-writing. But they are writing these movies too, so they are very much more have more of a creative control than some other people. Like even Sam Raimi was basing it on somebody else's script, right? So if Coogler says, "Hey, this guy's got something, you should use him," Feige's listening because Feige listens to Coogler in general. Right? I feel like this is the truth. So, but we'll see. Hopefully something cool comes out of it. Continue on with the MCU. I'm saying up front that this whole topic is really me just wanting to say I want some Yelena and Kate project, whatever. But Haley Steinfeld on the tour for Sinners was talking about working with Florence Pugh. And by the way, Florence Pugh, she's about to be the lead of Thunderbolts, which
Thunderbolts, yeah.
by early accounts is quite good. Which is great. It's great to hear that. And Haley Steinfeld, of course, is tearing it up in Sinners. Like she's great in Sinners. She's just great. So like they're two young they're about around the same age. They linked up for because of Hawkeye a few years ago.
Mm.
In my opinion, the best thing about that whole Hawkeye show was Yelena and Kate being like frenemies at first, and then they're just straight up just besties. And I love it. I love that interaction. And so she said she was just talking about how great it was to work with her, how great a scene partner she is, and everything like that, and that she would love to work with her again. Which I'm like, from your mouth, to Kevin Feige's ears, because God dang it, it's been. Come on, what's taking so long? I want Kate Bishop and Yelena to go on some Thelma and Louise, adventure. Like, make it happen. You did it with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Why can't I have? I'm just saying, Kevin Feige. Why can't I have what I want here? Make it happen. Anyway, I said what I.
Well,
as
an internet celebrity, you can actually demand things now.
I demand. Simu Liu said, like the post. Clearly, I'm important. Make it happen. What am I off base here? That's what I'm trying to say.
No, not at all. I mean, it is, in my opinion, like, people always, they see an interaction, like great interaction or a great dynamic, and they want more of it. But in my opinion, more doesn't always work. So I would like them to continue interacting in other projects, but I don't think that I want a project surrounded, like, centered particularly on them.
You don't? Oh my gosh. You know what?
I think I would like it. I would watch it. I just don't think that it's absolutely necessary. But I think they should show up in each other's projects, because I think that Kate's gonna go with the like junior Avengers team, and
The champions, yeah.
Yelena probably will, or
Hmm.
whatever they're gonna be called, maybe champions, and Elena is gonna be with the adult Avengers team. And if these teams like cross each other's path and interact, that would be really cool. Mm.
I'd
They
love
can
that.
also like show up and help out each other, but I don't think that we're gonna see something like that's centered
Yeah.
on that.
I think the window for that
Maybe
is
like a what if episode kind of thing,
yeah. I think the window
which is what
for
if
it
it's over.
the window for its closing. I think just look, time is passing. There's there's a lot of like every year that passes in our world, right, is making it less likely that these things are gonna go on. So like if it's gonna happen, it needs to happen soon. Um, I just want it, damn it. I just want it. That's all. Like it's because it's weird to me, and I understand because there's only so much time that you and only so much money. But there's all these times in the MCU where they present something, you're like, yes, like I like that a lot, and it
Yeah,
just
and then
goes
you never see it
nowhere.
again.
And like it's like and we were mentioning earlier about Madison. That's literally something I would just love to. I was joking. I said, "Oh, Madison, and she meets Doctor Doom in the Hell dimension." Like that my joke was, she meets Doctor Doom when she's going through that little Hell dimension, and then like actually she becomes really good friends with him. And so when she sees him again, she's like, "Oh, Doomers, like, why are you trying to take over the world? I guess I have to stop you or something." And I'm just thinking that to myself, and I'm like, "That's hilarious." They'll never do it, but like they present cool characters or situations, and then just kind of like that's it. You get it. You get that one thing, and
I
then
mean,
move on.
you're talking about medicine, but then like where is She-Hulk? Come on, she had a whole show.
Yeah, like she needs. Anyway, I could be on this
We didn't see
subject
her
forever.
again. Like,
I could
and like we're gonna talk about Daredevil later, so I guess we'll just
I literally could be
complain
on
about
that.
that there.
I could be on that subject forever. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
I just want to say Yelena and Kate, I want more of that, but I'm not gonna get. I don't get what I want because I'm not enough an internet celebrity. Sorry. uh Speaking of Doomsday, this was I just want to talk about this. John Campia posted this, and he reposted because I saw this on other things, but it was a picture of it was a picture of RDJ as Doom, which I was like, is this shit real? You ever see these pictures?
I
You're
don't think
like,
I saw that.
and I'm just like, is this real? Because this looks like it could be fake. It's cool looking though. Not exactly the Doom. Like if you see the picture, I'm looking at it right now. First of all,
Can you send me the link?
oh yeah, look in the show notes. It's the links there.
Oh, okay.
But so I'm looking at the picture. First of all, it looks like Mark Hamill. As you remember how Mark Hamill looked in The Last Jedi, you know, like all the
Like
gray
a
beard
force
and everything,
ghost?
like the gray beard and the long hair. So look, and this is from a distance, but it looks like it's on a set or something like that. But maybe it's a costume test fitting or something like that to see how it looks on film. But it's like part Iron Man, part Doombot, and he has like the little what do you call it, the arc reactor
Wait, it looks
in
like
the middle.
Thor.
Yeah,
It looks
well,
like Thor in like black and chrome and green
I mean
cape.
it's a bit of
Yeah, it
that.
also looks like old Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. But it looked because he's got like the beard and everything like that.
It's kind of a cool look, yeah, but it also, I mean,
it's a
we're
look.
talking about Doom,
Yeah,
okay? It's Doctor Doom. It's not some like
I mean it's
Reed
kind it
Richards.
if this is real. I mean it's not bad. I'm
It's
not
not. It's not Doom though.
it because Doom's a little more like his armor looks a
He
little.
has style.
He,
His armor looks medieval,
yeah,
and it
it's
looks like
that. Yeah, he's got the
it's
gauntlets.
it basically references kind of his roots. It's
I think it's weird
it's
that
something
that
special.
they. I think it's weird he doesn't have the helmet on because like that the face
Yeah,
plate is like as iconic. Like the face plate, like the little.
it is
Yeah,
Doom.
it's Man in the Iron Mask. It gives Man in the Iron Mask, but like
Like even when Doom doesn't have scars on his face or anything, he still wears it
yeah,
because it's cool and he understands it.
yeah, it's
And
like
I don't think they do.
and
I'm not worried about this Doom because come on.
this like I said, it's his part Iron Man and like a little. It's more Iron Man than it is Doom. I think.
Yeah,
Um,
but why would you call him Doom?
and also the other problem I have with it is Doom usually has like a tunic over his armor, right? So he usually has a tunic
Yeah.
covering up, but they're making sure that no, this is not Victor Von Doom. This is Tony Stark as Doctor Doom because of the
Why would Tony Stark ever call himself Doctor Doom? If his
may,
last name is not Von Doom.
maybe his name is maybe he's not Tony Stark, maybe because I think the conceit here is that the Starks were immigrated. They're third or fourth generation having immigrated from Eastern Europe. So now maybe they just never immigrated, and Tony somehow grew up to still manage to grow up and still be the same person, except now he's from Latveria. I don't know. We don't know anything
I
about
don't
this.
even know they're gonna use Latveria.
If they don't use Latveria, I'm like, what was even the point of this?
They stuck so many fictional countries like here that I don't think that we have room for all this countries.
maybe
Do
he's
they know how small Europe is?
maybe in this world, Sokovia never, and Latveria was taken over by Latveria. I don't know. We don't know anything about this. This is just a picture.
That's true. That's true. It does look cool, and like in terms of MCU, we know that it's not the same as the Earth 616 or even
Yeah,
Ultimate. So we have to be ready to these things. We will enjoy them and accept them for what they are. They don't have to be exactly like they are in the comics.
yeah.
I mean, I just would I would be happy if we had Doom in a cartoon or something, or like in any parallel universe, just the real Doom, because well, who doesn't love real Doom? I know who doesn't. Reed Richards.
You know
I
what would
mean,
be dope? I don't think this is gonna happen. You know what would be dope though is like if the real Doom came through in Secret Wars and that's like you fucking imposter.
what the
Let
hell
me
is going on here? Yeah.
because here's my speculation and I feel like this is very likely to be true. This version of Doom has no mystical powers. I do not believe that. I think Tony Stark as Doom doesn't do magic. It's all technology.
I mean, it looks like that because aside from like some similarities to Thor's costume, which I can't shake, like it really looks a lot like Thor's costume. I feel like if he had any magical powers, it would be also referenced in his costume.
Yeah.
If we're talking about this one, then it's definitely not magic,
Yeah. I think
unless it's Asgardian magic or something.
and I think that's to me like I still to this day don't know how Tony Stark ever prevails against Doom. And whenever they fight, I'm like, I don't know how because he technologically if he's not on your level, he's close. But also the motherfucker can do magic. So like, how are you beating that?
No, yeah,
How,
no one can.
it's
It has to be like a lot of people, and even Strange has issues with him sometimes.
yeah, Doctor Doom. He's legit enough that any particular magic user, they're gonna have a problem with him. Like hell, didn't even Black Panther have to engage? Like didn't like the Wakandan magic people have to help to deal with Doom? Like anyway, we're going to field.
No. I mean, yes, but Doom is exciting to discuss. I mean, I think that Doom is probably one of the few villains who actually he does deserve to win because he put in a lot of effort,
Yeah,
legit effort. Like he worked hard, he studied, and he might not be a real doctor, but he studied, and then he studied magic, and then he didn't take shortcuts. He like
Yeah.
really put in the effort. I don't know how he loses. It's not fair because it's just another situation when you put in all the work and then you just lose because some other guy was better.
No, he.
That's unfair. I
Well, that's why
Doom should win
the
more.
world under Doom is amazing. It's at least I hear.
Yes,
At
yes.
least I hear. So,
Yeah.
well,
It is amazing and it's a joy. It's a beautiful world. You know, there are only like a few people who don't like it, obviously.
well, they're just haters.
Of
uh,
course.
well, this looks cool. We'll keep an eye on this and see if this is a real thing as the months go on. So, speaking of rumors, did you know that there's a Black Panther 3 coming? And here's a real question. Who's going to be Black Panther? We know Shuri currently is, and obviously Letitia Wright is going to come back as Shuri. Obviously M'Baku is going to come. Like the whole cast, everybody that's still alive, they're going to come back. But there's a rumor that, and I think this was Jeff Snyder was talking about this so on the In Snyder, was talking about that they have already recast T'Challa, and everyone who's like hashtag recast T'Challa, pump your brakes. Don't get so happy. It's not the OG. It's T'Challa Jr. As
Yeah,
who we
exactly.
saw as
I was gonna
yeah
say that.
we saw what how I would say he was like what 7, 8 years old or something in the movie.
I think
Uh,
he was like 5, 6 years old because
what
it's been. I think it's during the bleep.
well
He was
it
born
was post
during
blip.
or before,
So I would say
and it was post. So he was about 5 years old, I
yeah he
think.
was born before the blip, right? So because
I think it's either before or
well,
during. Probably
he was
before.
born before the snap. What they're
Okay.
saying because
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. If we're talking like it's
or
2018, where the first Black Panther was set and released.
or
So
wait
if it was 2018, so he had like, if he was born like right after that in 2018, and which year is it? Wakanda
I think
Forever set
Wakanda
in?
Forever takes place 2 years or so after the blip, after everyone comes back, something like that.
Yeah. So it was like, wasn't it
20
2025 when everyone
yeah,
came
so
back?
it'd
2023.
have been 2023 whenever. So let's just say the kid's about 6.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say he's about 7. Let's just about 7 years old. So clearly there's going to be some kind of time jump. Like by the time Black Panther 3 comes out, what year what is 2025? If it comes out in the next 3 years, I'll be surprised. I don't think it's going to come out after Secret War.
Yeah, yeah.
Secret Wars.
And that explains anything you needed to explain.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about they've already cast and they've decided the actor. They don't and Jeff Snyder's implying it's a known actor, and he will be taking over the role of T'Challa Jr.
Is he known now or he known after Xenos or something?
You know what? It's is a hard call, like because you're basically saying, oh, it's a black actor that people know about now. Well, shit, that's a ton of them. So the way to whittle this down really, and I'm not gonna throw any names out because this could be anybody. I personally want it to be Aldous Hodge, but Aldous Hodge is at an age where I don't know that he wants to. Well, or Marvel wants to put him in like the franchise because like he's 40 something. Like I want to say he's in his early 40s.
You know, Harrison Ford seemed like he didn't want to be in anything.
Yeah, and
And then look at him.
look at his character. What is his character is in jail now. So he's very tidily not available anymore. But I want it to be Aldous Hodge. I think Aldous Hodge is amazing. And he's got the right build and everything like that. But it could easily be Damson Idris too. There's a bunch of young guys who could be.
As long as we get Storm and T'Challa, I'm not gonna complain.
I want that. See, I want
If we don't get that, that's when I'm gonna complain, and I'm gonna complain a lot.
So are you a fan? Are you a fan of the Storm? A lot of people didn't like. A lot of people didn't like. I liked it.
I know,
and I understand that they had a very bad breakup, like that it broke them. I'm like,
In the middle of like all the garbage, yes.
What the hell did T'Challa? I got to read up on this. What the hell did T'Challa do to push her away? Because like it had to be him.
And then
I can't believe it's
they
Storm.
lit actually, that the breakup itself, like the final stage of it was during Avengers versus X-Men.
Oh,
So of course they were on different sides, and it didn't help.
that's well. I mean, so we got to get Storm too. But a young black guy. That's pretty much a young black guy that's making waves in Hollywood right now. Like I said, Damson Idris is a pretty good one. But it could be a number of other guys. I mean, do you buy this that they're gonna age him up?
I think that they're gonna age him up if they need it. But I also think that it's not. I don't think that they cast already like the actor. I don't think that happened.
Well, if they do, because remember, Secret War. So Doomsday is next year, right? And then Secret War is 2027. So they actually
I still can't wrap my mind around that, because like there hasn't been any lead up that we're used to, and that's okay, because I'm not complaining about that. It just doesn't sum up in my mind that it's next year. I just can't comprehend it yet. So if it's next year, then yes, maybe they are thinking about like or casting as we speak, but that would mean that either they want to use him in one of those projects, maybe like in the Secret Wars or something, or that they're actually starting work on Black Panther 3, and we don't know if either one of these things is true.
I think that they're likely. To me, more than likely, we see this person in Secret Wars. Just to kind of set, because Secret Wars is the it's the status reboot. It's the status it's the reset, where it makes sense that now there's mutants and there's all this other stuff is all folded in. So that's the place to be like, oh, we got a Black Panther. Oh, we got Miles Morales. Oh, we have a new Spider. You know what I'm saying? You put them all in one spot, and then that's the status quo. And Avengers movies, are the place to actually do that, because people are actually going to show up for them and see and
that's true. That's like promo for all the future projects. But you know what I just thought about? Like we talk about how mutants are going to be in the MCU, and how like Secret Wars is the way to do it, and that's okay also. But Doctor Strange went in the Multiverse of Madness to a parallel universe. He saw mutants there. He didn't even tell anyone that, like. Well,
I mean, he's
might
just
be a thing here.
Well, he's just like,
Let's check.
It's a parallel universe. I don't know anything about
Besides, they have Kamala, and she's from this universe. And like, you're a magician. Just look around, see what's going on.
I wonder about.
They might be a problem, and you don't want a Magneto showing up.
Do you think that he checked 14 million universes? Like, how many different variants and variations of our world did he see where there was strange shit going on? Like, there's all sorts of. But when he did that though, he only looked at variations of the MCU. So it wasn't even. It wasn't even. It's not that he didn't know there was a multiverse. He didn't even know to check any weird, wild versions. That's why
wouldn't have helped him, because he could have seen what happened in that universe that he went like in the from the Multiverse of Madness. Wouldn't help him, because like you don't have the power set that's there. Yeah.
Or that wasn't the situation at hand. Like there was no way he was working on variations of that moment in time versus it's this is why I still maintain the multiverse saga was a fucking mistake. Like we're nerds. We know this shit. And we're still like, well, maybe this, maybe that. Regular people that watch these movies, they don't have time or the bandwidth to care about any of this stuff. They're not us. They're not going to sit here like they really are going to be confused. Like Doomsday is going to confuse the shit out of people. I get because they're going to watch it without having watched anything else, and they're going to be like, what the fuck is happening?
And like, again, you're adapting Secret Wars. Secret Wars.
It's one of
written by Hickman. Who does that? That's like trying to, I don't know, adapt the complete series of work by like some
What
mathematician.
what do they say? What's the book that everyone's like, I don't understand, Ulysses or something like that? I always hear
Yeah.
that. They're just
No, I don't think that nobody understands it. It's just nobody can finish it.
yeah,
It's really boring. It's really long. It's not good.
but
And
but it's
I know a
Ulysses
lot of
though.
people who tried to read it. They carry it around for like a few weeks. They talk about it nonstop, and then you never see this book again. They never finish it.
Oh man, that's not a great comparison for the MCU. So hopefully, Secret Wars fixes that. I don't know, man. We'll see. Let's talk about another thing, Doomsday related, because we know it's going to be bringing in a bunch of. It's a multiversal thing. I don't know why is Doomsday multiversal. I don't fucking understand that. But either way, it seems to be. Well, we had some set
Is it?
photos.
No, I don't.
It's apparently it's going to be multi, because remember they announced all the Doomsday people, and some of them
Oh, that's yeah.
were X-Men, were X,
Daredevil.
OG X-Men. Well, they showed some pictures, behind the scene pictures, and while they're filming it. They're filming in England right now. And we got to see James Marsden and Benedict Wong talking to each other. So we know Cyclops, and of course, James Marsden has the glasses on. Uh,
With the
so
visor,
I
or
think
the like
I think
casual
he has on his like
civilian.
his red lenses. I think he's wearing,
Yeah.
and he's talking to Benedict
So
Wong.
Daredevil's glasses.
Yeah. um. So and also I want to say was Ian McKellen was also talking to somebody. So it looks like Wong is going to be talking to regular OG X Men.
Or they could be just taking a break from filming and talking to each other.
You know what? Stop killing my joy. Don't do that. I want to
I'm
look.
sorry.
I want to believe that Wongers is hanging out with what was his name, the Donut King. I just want to believe that. Which if y'all get that, watch Sonic the Hedgehog, y'all. Uh,
I didn't.
you didn't watch Sonic? Oh, make it happen. It's a look. Those movies are fun. They're if you go into it knowing
I
it's
never
just a fun.
understood that. Like, was it a cartoon? Right?
It
He
was a
just
bit.
ran.
It's a video game, but yes, there's also cartoons based and comics
He's like
based on.
running like a wheel, and it's so
Yeah, it's a
weird.
video. You never played Sonic the Hedgehog, the video games?
No.
What? Oh man, go get an emulator and like you can just download the emulator and download Sonic the Hedgehog. Hell, you can probably play Sonic the Hedgehog for free on like a
Do you
streaming
you remember
service.
how hard those old games are?
It's I'm telling you, you have got to experience. I can't. I have to
Can,
enter
can you
y'all. I
can
have to
you
interrupt this.
imagine the
I have to interrupt this entire
can you
podcast.
imagine the rage of a 36-year-old woman who
No,
can't pass a
it's
level?
Sonic is like it. It may be one of those. I mean, the boss fights are you actually have to do stuff, but you know how these mobile games that are kind of like play themselves. Sometimes Sonic's a little bit like that. You do have to control the game, but there are some parts where you literally are just pressing right on the controller, and it's just doing something. It's because it's whizzing around doing stuff, and you just have to make sure you press jump at the right time. Wow. I didn't, y'all. I have to interrupt this podcast because, like, uh, 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 something unimaginable is happening in the nerddom right now. Because I know Polly's a big old nerd, and she's never played Sonic the Hedgehog. That is wild to me. You know what? We, go. You don't have to play a lot of it, but like, I'm pretty sure you can. You know, the game streaming service where you can just play on your browser. I'm almost certain that there's some place you can play Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for free. Uh, like make that happen. That's crazy. But also an awesome opportunity for you to get, find out who this is. Forget that. You don't even have to play the game. The movies are charming as hell and they're fun. James Marsden he plays an original character in there, but he's like a father figure essentially to Sonic. And it's a cute little movie. I really enjoy them. They're look, are they hugely great dramatic pieces of work? No, they're appealing to
Do they
kids.
have to be?
No, they're just fun. They have a lot of charm.
Exactly.
Ben Schwartz plays he's the voice of Sonic. It's cute. There's fun stuff happening, and Jim Carrey is just Jim Carreying it up. It's so anyway. This is my time to say y'all go watch Sonic the Hedgehog, so you can see the Donut Lord, not Donut King, the Donut Lord, uh, at work, aka James Marsden. Um, this is exciting. I don't give a damn. I know I was just talking shit about like how no one's gonna understand this. Well, I'm gonna fucking understand this. In the comics, we know Wong has talked to the X-Men before, right? Because,
Yeah.
he has. Doctor Strange has hung out with the X-Men and done some shit. And we're finally getting to an MCU where all of my understanding of the comics is coming together in film form. Yay. Anyway, Polly, come on, these have to get you excited. They are not on a coffee break, damn it. They are talking about X-Men and the fate of the world right now. Damn it. That and my as far as I'm concerned.
I'm cautiously excited about this, about everything X-Men. Very cautiously, but very excited, but still very cautious.
We're good. Look, this is gonna be good. I'm just saying. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'll believe it when I see it.
That is a very very even-handed way of looking at it. To which I say, what kind of nerd are you? If
To
you're
hell
not,
with it.
what kind of nerd are you? You're not like jumping to 25 conclusions based on one grainy picture. How dare
I
you?
was when I saw the cast announcements. I was like super excited, and now I'm trying to keep it down because I want to be surprised when it happens.
Right.
Like
That's
a little bit surprised, at least a little bit surprised, but I still want to be surprised.
I hear
I want
you.
to see it. I want to experience it like it's supposed to be experienced.
It's so
Like I don't
hard.
know who the hell is
Yeah.
gonna be in that movie.
It's very hard as people who follow these things online. Like we're so excited
Yeah,
for
I
the
know.
next. Like I wish I could be one of these people that just watches the movie, puts all of that down, and goes on it and does other things. But like I can't. So like yeah, I'm not gonna be surprised. Whoever goes into this with no fucking knowledge, they just seen some movies. This is gonna be awesome for them. For the we have expectations. So yeah, you're right. We gotta bring it down a little bit. Uh,
But still be very excited.
still, yeah, we still got to tell people take your ass to the theater and see this shit because it's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, speaking of like, we were talking about leaked set footage, not footage, but pictures and everything. There was a couple weeks ago. There was these Jason Momoa as Lobo set pictures or whatever that were leaked. And by the way, we should have known this was on some foolishness because they were way too good looking. The picture a little too good looking, and I'm like, what kind of leaked pictures are like so high resolution? Usually, they're usually telephoto lenses of some guy like on a hilltop somewhere or on top of a
Well,
building.
those can be really, really high quality too.
But usually you can tell there's a little motion blur because it's too far away. You can't get that good. Either way, there was a post I saw that talking about how that somebody they were talking about the one we were just talking about, the Doom photo, that there's a good
Hmm.
chance that the leaked photo of Doom is AI generated and fake, and that the Jason Momoa Lobo set pictures were actually AI generated fakes, which is a problem for you and I and other people who are commenting on these things. We keep up with these things. How the fuck do we tell what's real? Like, and I look in our corner. This is small potatoes. Who cares? Like it's fake. We'll just look stupid because we're freaking out about fake set photos. But like in the real world, anything can be made to look real. So yet another thing to be like AI is fucking up the world, not just environmentally, but also making people believe that fake stuff is real. So I mean, I know you don't love AI. What do we do as commentators about this about this information?
Oh, if we can't tell for some, like with some pictures, we obviously can tell right away that they're fake. With some, we can tell at some point that they fake, but well, I think all we can do is just discuss it or not discuss it, and maybe like think whether it's a good look or not. I don't know. I don't think we can stop it.
Oh, definitely not. Because AI
I
photo
mean, we can try, but it's not gonna happen.
generative AI image generation and video generation is it's still in its infancy, and it's really good. Like like it's good enough to the point where the fake trailer, YouTube channels. You remember that? So they one
I
I
hated those so much.
I despise those channels.
I was trying to block them all, and I couldn't because, like, apparently you can't do that on YouTube.
Well, I mean,
You
you can
can't
just be
just
like,
block something
you
from
can just be
showing.
like, don't recommend, but like, I hate
I
those
was, but they kept coming back.
because they put themselves out as trailers. They were like, oh, Avengers 4 trailer, oh, whatever, Deadpool and
Yeah,
Wolverine
that's
2
why I only
trailer.
watch trailers on like official channels. So I'm
Exactly.
subscribed to Marvel, like the DC Studios, and I just watch it from them. If it's not from them, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, it's like KH Studios. They're hard, but and then recently they YouTube has been like, we're just going to give all the ad revenue from those channels to the IP owners because y'all are literally just getting ad revenue on somebody else's IP. Which I'm like, cool, but y'all aren't stopping. What the studios aren't going to stop them because they're like, this is just free money. Other people do work, we get free money, right? It's like if you
And
make
like it's really stupid from the people to give free money to the studio. Why would you work for someone else? Do something
well,
original.
you know what ends
Work for
up
yourself.
what ends up happening, or what could end up happening. I don't know if this is, but I know like on the reaction space, people just get Patreon because they know they're not going to get money from the YouTube videos because it's copyrighted music, and no matter what they say, it's copyrighted music. Whatever ad revenue is going to go to the music or movie studio or film production. So they do Patreons, and they'll be like, oh, if you want the full reaction, come to my Patreon. Yeah. So there are other ways to make money on somebody else's
Yeah.
copyrighted stuff. But I fucking hate them because they make me have to explain to normal people who don't follow this shit that no,
But these are fake.
that trailer that shows Superman fighting Spider-Man is not fucking real. The shit isn't real. It's not happening. You don't understand the industry and how actually hard it is to get two studios to agree to let their IP cross over. Like, you know how hard it was for Marvel Studios to get Tom Holland to be Spider-Man in the MCU? It was hard as shit. And Sony and Marvel are pretty friendly on pretty friendly terms, right? Getting Superman and Spider-Man to be in the same thing is going to be pulling teeth. I don't give a damn what James Gunn says. That I don't think it'll ever happen just because of how hard it is to make it happen business wise. But I hate those trailer
I mean, you know
things.
what? I wouldn't say never, because if there comes a moment when both studios need money and they're out of ideas, they'll do it for sure.
Well, but the reason why it's hard is going to be hard is because the only way it's really going to happen.
Also, like Spider-Man's gonna be killed by the end of that movie.
Well,
Who the hell in their right mind goes against Superman?
Lex Luthor, but uh,
In their right mind.
what I think the reason why I say it's not going to happen is because the only way it's really going to happen is if Disney acquires DC. That's the only way it happened because otherwise it's going to be a ton of wrangling between lawyers, and no amount of money is going to get them to the point. Because here's a real question: who distributes the movie? That's the main question. Who gets to because with the Sony and Marvel deal for Spider-Man, Marvel makes the movie, Sony distributes it, right? That was the
Mm-hmm.
deal. And the only reason why Marvel was cool with that is because they wanted Spider-Man in the MCU. So they're willing to give up distribution of a really successful franchise, right? so that they could have that character to make their already successful franchise even bigger. But DC has no incentive to do that because they'll WB Discovery would never let them distribute that movie. They'll lose a lot of money off of it. Anyway, that's business shit. The point here is that fuck AI generated shit. That's my my main point. Where everyone's getting all excited about these AI generated things, and anyone could tell an AI to do anything, right? They could tell him to make any fucking picture and make it look grainy or whatever like that, and make it look like. And if you are good enough at the prompts, the AI will make something that looks like it could be real. And so we're sitting up here flipping out, mad or excited or whatever about fake shit. And, you know, is there any incentive on the parts of the studios to debunk any of this stuff? It's free publicity as far as they're concerned. And they're just chugging along doing what they're doing. I hate it. Just
yeah, but they're not going to stop it.
Yeah, that just makes.
We can't stop it. They're not going to stop it. All we can do is like thank ChatGPT a lot.
Yeah, it's just another.
Maybe they will bankrupt them.
That I mean,
eventually.
I think this is yet another reason to just dislike AI, and which is weird because I'm not against AI, so to speak. If I thought AI could create things without needing to basically trace other people's shit, if they like,
I'd be actually more terrified.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, actual creativity from AI would be cool because I'm curious.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, the reason why
I think that like it might be connected to like the sentient mind, and that would mean that like you can create artificial consciousness.
I would be like
terrifying.
I would be interested to know what a mind that isn't based on biology or is not from the evolutionary line that we are. How does it work? Like that. This is interesting to me. But if it was true creativity, cool. This is basically Greg Land GPT is pretty much what it is. So, I mean, the man traces. He does. So
he traces a lot.
I mean,
I think like it's a good comparison because that does feel like a similar thing.
I mean, it's very it's a better if anything, the AI image generators are better at tracing than he is. Because they can trace because the AI image generators can trace in other styles. There's remember that whole Miyazaki image generation thing?
Yeah.
The Studio Ghibli generator.
Yeah, well, that's true, but like Greg Land adds a little something of himself into every one of his traced images. He adds the white woman face. It's always the same face.
It's literally the same. I'm telling you, it was literally the same. I was like, man, Sue Storm.
I hated how his Storm looked white. It was a white woman.
It's wild. But I mean, I didn't mean to shit on Greg Land, but the point stands is that unlike Greg Land, the AI image generators are really good at like making things look legit. And I'm like, God, we can't trust any of this stuff, and it's annoying. It's just really annoying. Like, but it's just a small shit because now they're making real life people look like they're saying shit that they're not saying. That's the actual scary shit. Anyway, fuck you guys. We don't like you AI people making up this bullshit. It just makes our lives worse. Thanks a lot. Also, apparently training these AIs is environmentally awful. So like, there's no upside to this so far.
Well, the good thing is there is a black hole somewhere, and we're all gonna fall into it eventually.
maybe
Something to look forward
if
to.
the universe doesn't
Hey, don't throw in my thing, okay?
look, if the universe doesn't rip us apart, like with
Expand, yeah.
the
No.
expansion of the
Well,
universe. So
it's either way, you know. Who cares?
uh speaking of some terrible stuff, we're going to talk about Beau DeMayo briefly. It's we're not
Yeah.
this is not the
How?
we're not going to shit on him. This week we're going to listen to him share his tell as his truth, as they say. Which, by the way, I really hate that phrase. It could, because it implies that there's more than one truth. Like that's it's a weird thing to me. I'm
But
like,
then,
tell the
but
truth, or
there
I
is
suppose.
three. There is always three.
It's so weird
We
to
all know
me.
that.
But I want to hear, like I was saying before, he was on some bullshit, but like he's also talking about some real stuff, his real experiences. So I do want to hear what he has to say about the difficulties he had working with Marvel Studios. So I'm gonna read this. This is Tim talking about working on Blade. Yes, he was at one time attached to Blade as like a screenwriter. So you see how far that went. Um, I'm going to read the tweet verbatim we don't get it twisted. He says, "How many more creatives, especially creators of color, need to risk speaking up about the racism at Disney and Marvel Studios? The execs also tried to force Ryan Coogler, to make all their names more normal and pronounceable because they were too African." He's talking about uh, Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
This was told to me by a Marvel exec at the Burbank lunch on September 6, 2023, where I informed him about the civil rights violations on the set of Blade, which included a prominent black female creative being fired by Marvel after her work was thrown by a project lead across the room as they shouted, "I hate working with women." And the person he's talking about, this is the first screenwriter I forget her name, but that was attached to the movie. This was when the movie was going to be a period piece, set in the 20s or something like that, and when Delroy Lindo was attached and everything. Anyway, he goes on to say, "I could also get into certain white execs who allowed jokes to be made how they were blacker than me because I'm not a massive hip hop fan. I remember with Blade, me and Ali having to fight Mahershala Ali, having to fight Marvel heads from shoehorning a white apologist savior sidekick character in the form of Dane Whitman's grandfather to help whiten an all black movie. That's interesting because remember Blade talking at the end of Eternals? His voice, we never saw him when he's talking about the Blade. So, the only reason why I'm bringing this up, and remember I said I do want to be fair to him. He's on his bullshit sometimes, but the stuff he's talking about is real, as far as I know and understand. So I want to like hear what you have to say about his, accusations.
I believe every piece of it because I have zero reasons to doubt it. Like, again, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Literally. It's nothing new. It's nothing that we haven't encountered before. So why would anyone doubt that it happened?
Because the person who sang it, and that's really, it really is it.
That doesn't make any difference because the person who's saying it is a minority. So
I think what this is what they call it.
it's not something you can make up, and it's not something you would make up, and it's not something you need to make up, because it's just something that happens
but
all the time, everywhere.
Polly, when Obama was elected, racism was over. Remember that? Remember Obama got elected, and that was the end of racism
Yeah, I
ever.
remember. It was a fun day. Like,
They
just
I
you
don't
go out in the street
sometimes
anywhere in the world and
yeah.
it's over.
I sometimes think that some white people haven't checked their email in a while because I think the memo was sent out and they just hadn't looked at it. So they're still doing the racism.
Yeah,
Really,
but
it's
then Trump
crazy.
was elected and the racism was back,
Yeah,
and they probably got that email.
well, they say actually it's racism against white people. That's the problem now. That's what's going on. So
Yeah, but it's still back.
I think, look, I agree with you. I have zero, like, everything rings true to me here. There's our like Sinners, the whole thing around Sinners and its box office and everything is enough to tell you about,
What
how
could have been?
well it I think it tells me enough a lot about the way people in Hollywood and the executive, because remember, the executive class aren't liberals. Like, don't let anybody tell, oh, liberal Hollywood. The people that actually have the write the checks, these motherfuckers are not liberal. At the best, they are American centrist, which in Europe is right wing. Um, at the best, they're centrist. At the worst, they are David Zaslav, who is a Trump supporter, straight up Trump supporter. And most of these, and they're multimillionaire billionaires at the top of the ladder, right? They're at the top of the pyramid. They write the checks and tell people what to do beneath them. And the only reason why liberals get any foothold or do any control in Hollywood is because conservatives are traditionally shit at making creative shit. They're just bad at it, right? The most prominent conservatives that make anything good are like what, fucking Clint Eastwood, you know, a few, Mel Gibson, and he's questionable and some of that shit too. Most conservatives in Hollywood aren't that good at, they're good despite the fact that they're conservative. So, but the money people are conservative. So I'm not surprised that execs in these places are like, I'm blacker than you, because their conception of being black is stereotypical bullshit. That they think that being black is liking to listen to rap and then wearing certain kind of clothes and like, driving certain kind of cars. As if there aren't other black people that do other things. Like, there are black people that don't give a fuck about rap, and they're black as anybody else. That I've encountered people like that in America, like white people that oh, I'm blacker than my ass.
No, I've encountered people like this a lot.
Yeah,
Like, you won't believe.
your understanding of blackness is some shit you saw on TV. So there's that. So I believe that, because like for whatever fucking reason, I don't understand why white executives get to gatekeep what's black, because they're the ones that are going to decide what the depictions are going to be that get through the system and get in front of our faces on popular media. Um, do I believe that they did that to Ryan Coogler on Black Panther? Absolutely. Or Black Panther Wakanda Forever? Absolutely. Because
I also believe that at this point, they would probably not try to do that.
Oh no, he's too good. But like, he had the opportunity to be like, fuck off. I'm doing what I'm doing. Because when you make $1 billion movie,
he doesn't need it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. He doesn't need it.
When you make $1 billion,
he doesn't need
movie,
them. They need him.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and remember I said I think Feige listens to Coogler. Listens to him. Enough that he gets to kind of develop whatever's going on with Wakanda in the MCU. But the other thing is that you make $1 billion movie, can't nobody tell you nothing. I don't care who you are. Honestly, I don't care who you are. If you make $1 billion movie, no one gets to push you around. And also he made $1 billion movie with those names being what they are, and how culturally specific it was. So really nobody gets to say it. But that's the executives, they exist to tell creatives what they can't do. They don't exist to enable people. They exist to curtail people. So yeah, I'm not surprised that went on. And I'm not surprised that they tried to put in a white character, because they did it on I can tell you Everett Ross was the least necessary person in all of Black Panther. He is so unnecessary that if you take him out, the movie would have been the exact. Oh, they're like, oh well, the weapons would have gotten away. So I bet you that none of that would have mattered. Like he was so and I love Martin Freeman. By the way, I'm a big fan of him as an actor. I like the Everett Ross character, but they were lampshading that whole, token white guy in a black movie character.
They literally, they really didn't have to have him. Yeah, and it's like here's a white guy. You can relate to him. Look, and that was not necessary.
No, he was
because there's like a lot of characters that anyone can relate to because it's not supposed to be like that.
It's like I said, I like Martin Freeman. I like Everett Ross, and in a way, it was intentionally lampshaded to reflect the Christopher Priest run, where Everett Ross really was just kind of like, a lot of Black Panther in the Christopher Priest run, at least in the first 12 issues, was told from Ross's perspective, and he really was just like a bumbling token white dude, and they lampshade the shit out of it. So I get it, but like, yeah, we didn't need him. So look, I get it. This I all of this rings true to me.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's
but
just
also,
sour grapes.
Well, yeah.
I just don't. I don't think it's sour grapes. I think it's him saying like, no, this is some real shit going on, y'all. Like, yeah, and while at the same time, yes, he is definitely like, bitter about what happened. But I'm not.
But also,
I'm
like
not
you mentioned
disagreeing.
the Christopher Priest run, and at least it's genuine because like a white person writing about comics about Black Panther.
Well, no, I mean Christopher Priest, he's a black guy, so his
Oh, I thought that you were talking.
no Christopher Priest. This was in the late '90s, I think '97, during the Marvel
Okay,
Knights
then
era.
it's weird.
Well, he writes.
I don't remember like the writers in particular, but I thought that it was
but
the white
Christopher
writer.
Priest. Well,
Anyway,
he centered him for a reason. Like this was to make sure that that he could. I mean, he's a black writer. He understands comics is mostly white dudes reading. So let's make a main character. But then Ross proceeds to be like this weird, bumbling, like just kind of a guy that he's sort of stumbling through. He's stumbling through the situation, and a situation that's very centered around a black guy, black Americans, black Africans. Their place on the world stage, and then also there was Achebe is sitting up there trying to destabilize the country. So there's like all of this stuff going on that's very black, and they put like this super white guy in there to kind of make it an easier entry point for the mainly white male audience. It's smart, and I get it, and they lampshade it. But
it's the 90s. Yeah,
in
the 90s run.
Yeah.
I just,
I think you'd enjoy it, but it's.
I will eventually get around to it because, like with my rereads, Black Panther isn't one of them because I've read some and I haven't read nearly as much as I want to. But I also know that I skip some of the 90s runs in general with all comics because, like, that's a weird time. That's a very weird era in the comics, and there's always some like exaggerated, overly like masculine and muscly stuff, which is not always accompanied by a good story.
Right.
In some cases it is, and those runs I of course read, but in some cases it's just.
I think you'll find it interesting, and also you'll see how it inspired like the Black Panther movie. So, like I said, I like all of this rings true to me. I like, and I want them to fucking address this shit. Like that's the thing is the ad hominem shit is unimpressive to me. Yeah, it's Beau DeMayo may be on his bullshit in other ways.
Yeah, he's doing
he's
some
not saying
weird
wrong things. Yeah.
Weird things. Yeah, but in this case, we have absolutely no reason to doubt anything he said because this is something that happens, and this is something that I don't have any single doubt that it happens a lot.
Right.
And yeah.
I mean, I believe it, and I just want them to address it. Like we just needed to be better. That's all.
You
Um,
know that they won't. You know that they just gonna ignore that it's happening because they, at this point, I think he talked himself into the corner because they don't address anything he says.
yeah. Well, I think the smart
And
thing
people
is,
just forget eventually. So I think that somebody with maybe a little more leverage should be speaking.
yeah,
Uh, Preferably everyone who has any kind of leverage should be speaking.
yeah.
And should be saying what's really going on, so we would know, and so like they would feel bad.
I definitely hope so. So I mean, we'll keep it. Well, I'm not holding out. I'm not holding out for it,
Yeah,
but we'll hope and we'll see if any of this gets addressed or starts to change. That'd be
and
cool.
you know it's not gonna get addressed until somebody white comes out and says that, yeah, that happened. I was there.
I think a lot of these people aren't going to talk because they're afraid of fucking up their career. So that's. But Beau DeMayo, he's already done it, so he ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah, which is also another reason why it's pretty believable.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll
And
keep an
he's
eye.
mad, and he has the right to be.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye on this and let y'all know if anything comes out of it. Um, let's see how I'm gonna say real quick, but like there's we're not gonna real quick this episode. Let's talk about the Superman Day, which just passed. I forget what day it was. Was it last Friday? Um, but James Gunn posted a behind the scenes kind of like featurette, I guess you could say, for Superman Day. I just wanted to talk about this real quick. We didn't get much new footage. This was really more about kind of the making of, and we got to see, David Corn Sweat, Rachel Brosnan. We got to see Nicholas Holt on behind the scenes in their various costumes or and their characters. They're just kind of talking to each other, talk about what it's like to be on set and to make the movie. With what's his name, Nathan Fillion talks a little bit on there. We see a little bit of Eddie Gathegi. We got to see a behind the scenes picture of Hawk Girl. Um, Isabella Mercedes Hawk Girl, which she looks great, by the way. I think she looks fucking great. She had the mask on. Like, so she had the Hawk Girl thing going. Um, this behind the scenes thing was so good, as I mentioned earlier. I'm hyped as hell for this movie. I am so hyped for this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
And I
I am
pre-ordered.
I'm staying
Yeah.
away from all this behind the scene footage just because again I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised as hell, and I want to enjoy it like with the fresh eye.
Well, the good thing is they didn't really show anything new. I think they showed a little
Of
bit of
course, yes.
the
Just
making. They showed
the
the make.
looks of the
Yeah,
characters and stuff like that. I want to like see it for the first time.
they showed the making of that little scene where he's in the snow, like, and they were
Hmm.
actually in wherever they were, but there was snow where they were filming it, and that was kind of cool. And that, like, I'm so hyped for this that I pre-ordered the Superman and the crypto Funkos, and I'm gonna pay full retail price for Funko Pops. I never do that, so y'all know I'm
That's
fucking
how important that is.
I'm on this. Um, they are excited as hell to make this movie, and I look, yeah, it's press and everything that they always do. No, I'm so serious. I feel like everyone feels like they are doing something special, and they feel the responsibility of making Superman a great entry for people into the DCU, but also for the character to do the character justice. I think everyone really kind of feels like that this is their baby and that they're doing the best that they can to make something special. And God damn it, I cannot be more excited for this. July feels like forever away, but it's not far. It's about to be May. It's 3 months out. Um, did you watch this, right? Did you watch this behind the scenes thing, or did you not?
No, I didn't watch the behind the
Well,
scenes
you just have to.
thing. I watched the trailer and I like trying to keep this excitement. going, and it's really easy because I'm really excited. But what I especially like, I think, about this, and what excites me the most, is the fact that it seems like we're being thrown into the already established
Hmm.
situation. So it's nobody's gonna like build it from the ground up with the characters appearing, with them being introduced, and then you having to explain that this character like got their powers and then they went on to do these things. They don't need to do this. They can, if they have everyone show up like that in a Superman movie out of nowhere, then I think that's a really good idea, and I think that it's a really good way to build the universe. Uh, Considering that you have to do it like so late after Marvel started it,
Hmm.
and you still kind of have to compete because you're competing for the same audience. That's a really great idea,
Yeah.
and it's really going to be a fun experience.
Yeah.
No introductions, you know they exist in the same universe, so that's going to be really cool.
And James Gunn excels at me. I mean, I just recently watched Guardians of the Galaxy. He excels at taking people you don't know and being like, here they are. Here's what they're like. You like
Yeah,
them. You want to see more of them. We're gonna have a little thing going on here. And at the end of it, you're like, yeah, who are these? These people are dope, and I love them.
these are my
So
favorite
yeah,
characters.
so he has his superpower is to make you learn about new characters and love them. So
And yeah, and care about them.
and everyone already loves Superman. So it's a given that like we are gonna love Super. And by the way, David Cornsweet, I believe in him now. Like it's that little behind the scenes thing. I was like, nah, I believe in him. He's gonna be a great Superman. I'm so ready to see him.
Actually, I didn't have any doubts on him because first of all, there's always a reason they cast someone, and I don't know who makes the decision actually on this in DC. Uh, but well, I know that James Gunn haven't missed yet
Hmm.
with casting choices, so why would we ever doubt that?
Yeah.
There is a reason he picked this person to play the character, and probably like having written the story and like the script, he would know what he expects from it,
Right. Yeah. And it's. I think it's.
and he would probably have the final decision. So yeah, that all makes sense. I'm
Yeah.
not going
Yeah.
to be surprised when everyone in this movie is good, and also when we've seen them all in Guardians of the Galaxy at one point or another.
I. I just have I have a ton of confidence. I'm excited. I'm ready. So July, get here already.
Oh my god.
Speaking of July, July is gonna be fucking amazing. Because we're also getting
Hmm.
Fantastic Four First Steps.
Every weekend is going to be booked.
We got Fantastic Four First Steps. We got the trailer, the first official
Oh yeah.
trailer
Oh yeah.
dropped over the last I want to say 10 days ago
The
or something like
fucking
that.
Franklin Richards of
Oh
all
my!
people.
It's this trailer's so damn good. Why is this trailer
Right?
so good? It's
Because the movie is good, probably.
it's so good. And wait, it's some stuff we've already seen, right? It expands some scenes. It confirms some things. Meg from Vigilante Vibes was like, I think if you was listening to her show, she was talking to somebody, and she's like, I think Sue's pregnant. She's pregnant in this thing, right?
Hmm.
Um, we finally sort of get to see Johnny Storm.
Galactus's feet.
Well, yeah, his size,
His boots.
1 million feet. But we see
Some good feet.
we got to see Reed stretch.
Oh
We
yeah.
got to see John.
That.
We got to see Johnny as actually as a character, like saying, and he's so Johnny. Like I love how Johnny Storm he is because he's giving Reed shit. Like he's giving Reed shit. I love that Ben is like like it's funny because he's the most sensitive in the sense he's most aware he
Yeah,
immediately
they didn't take the character from like what he was like in the early
oh yeah,
comics.
yeah,
They definitely went with what he's like now, which is
yeah.
a good idea because
Be-
in the early comics he's awful.
he's
He's
an
a
ass.
crybaby.
But he like so
So annoying.
he's very aware and like sensitive to what's going on, but also he's really kind of cool. We get to see him in like his like was it the trench coat or suit or something like that?
Yeah,
He's like
civilian
that,
clothes.
and he's also pulling a you know was it a ship in the harbor? That's cool. We get to see
Yeah,
Shalabal and
lives
she
in a car.
yeah, it's living a beetle. Shalabal is and she actually is doing some surfing shit on her like everything's there. And like everything, like we get bits of Galactus like it's so good, such a good trailer. I God damn it, I'm ready for this movie. I'm very
Oh
serious.
yeah.
Even though I will say when
And I'm excited for Thunderbolts, but
mhm.
damn it, I'm super excited for Fantastic.
Hey, well, I think you're excited to hate on Reed, which I'm
Oh yeah, yeah.
the hate on Reed challenge is like on right now because they're like this is an extinction level event. What are we gonna? He's like, I think I did this by us going up into space and
Oh
like
yeah, hell yeah,
he's
you
like
did this. We all know you did
I
this.
think I called them. Here's the thing though, Pedro Pascal, I'm not feeling the asshole Reed from him. From just a little bit, like the Reed as a like a know-it-all like paternalistic dick. I'm not feeling it. He really seems like he's less of that.
You have to know, Reed. You like have to believe that Reed is an asshole, okay? You can't just give him a pass. No. But honestly, like from the way he talks about the character, because I saw that yeah, he was talking like on Star Wars Celebration or something,
Mhm.
yeah, about like what would happen if Reed met Dean, the Mandalorian. I don't know. You know what? There was a part of me like that was like he is trying to be a more like modern Reed without all this bullshit, but also like there are hints of the
Modern Reed is a
the
huge
Reed
dick too.
Reed.
Like
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like the whole 616 pretends that all the shit he's done before has never been done by him before. Maybe he erased everyone. Like, I would understand if he erased everyone's collective memory after Secret Wars.
mhm.
That would be the only explanation why people are still talking to him. I think
It's
he did that because if he erased the memory like of what happened and pretended to be dead with like his whole family when he convinced Johnny and Ben that they were dead. I think that like in the process he did something to the whole universe and like told Franklin like just make me less of a dick or something in everybody's memory, of course. That sounds like something he'd do.
that yeah, he gets no slack from you, I see.
No.
um
I mean, have you seen him like in the latest comics trying to be all like, "Oh no, I never did all those things that I did." He's
he's the
really,
ultimate gaslighter.
yeah.
I think Reed in the comics he's kind of I don't see how he's still a hero. And at some like that the whole the thinker not the thing is it thinker what is I forget his the guy in the ultimate universe he is the ultimate bad guy because
The
he
Maker,
the maker that's what I'm thinking not the
Maker.
thinker so the maker in the ultimate
The
comics
Thinker
now
is another guy.
yeah no the thinker's a different
Actually,
guy
the Thinker is the one who called him out on his bullshit during Civil War.
nice no it's I mean
Yeah.
it's real like but the maker is like he is Reed and just like but he's just like I'm just gonna be for real bad but even then he makes the whole ultimate universe again he just wants it to be like one that's more hospitable to his particular villainy and fucks it up some people fuck it up for him and now he's just like all right I'm about to come out and y'all better be ready for me and that's the whole ultimate. That's my understanding. I haven't read it. That's just my understanding of what's happening. But
I'm reading it, and like, you know what? I'm ready for everyone to hate on Reed.
oh, they're already
It's still Reed.
they're pre-hating on him because they're like, because of you.
But there is also another Reed there who's Doom, and I kind of hate him too. But it's hard to hate him because like he
'Cause
hates the other Reed too.
Yeah.
And how do you hate a Reed who hates a Reed? That's so complicated. It's so, Jonathan Hickman, you know. It's hard to understand.
Yeah, he's
not for beginners.
Yeah. So I'll think now this is a great trailer. I'm excited. You're excited.
Amazing.
God damn it. Is it July yet? Come on, man. Like
no.
All right, something to live for, right? Well, let's make it.
Oh, that sounds so sad and so American.
I mean, I'm living in America right now. This is
this is tough. You are. I live in Latvia.
Yeah, I mean, but at least
we always have something to live for. Doom.
Yeah, that's at least you have universal health care, so that's a thing. We're gonna keep an eye on this. We can't wait for this to come out. Well, of course, we're gonna talk about it then. Last thing, yes, this is a supersized episode. We are gonna talk about Daredevil Reborn, the finale.
Born Again.
Or sorry, yeah, Born Again. Daredevil Reborn, Born Again. That thing. Daredevil Born Again. Apparently
to be reborn again.
Yeah. We kind of recapped the previous episode. The finale came out last week, and it had a lot to do, in my opinion, because we saw, what's it? Matt got shot. He got shot at the end of the penultimate episode, saving Wilson Fisk after he let Bullseye.
After he released,
he
exactly.
He purposely released Bullseye because he's like. Which is, by the way,
to get shot by him.
Yeah. By the way,
that is 100% Matt Murdock bullshit. That's something he does.
It's so weird. This is how people are like Batman doesn't kill. Yes, he does, but like not killing someone and not and setting them up to get killed. Killing someone and setting them up to get killed is the same fucking thing. And the part of the
he going to the church later.
Yeah, he's
going to the church. He's going to do a confession, and
maybe
it's gonna be fine.
Maybe
still getting into heaven.
Matt sets him up, like he's like, I crossed the line and I can't put on the suit. And of course, eventually he does to deal with Muse and everything like that. So now he's back in the suit. He's given Fisk a good reason to. Be dictator in chief of New York City with his cops. So all of this is coming together at the end in this final episode. We saw in the penultimate episode, this task force they're goons. They're just they're henchmen. He's got his illegal henchmen now. They're a cop gang. And Vanessa Fisk is the one that had Foggy killed. He steps in to take a bullet for Fisk. What now? Right? Now Fisk is using this as an excuse to literally say, we got martial law, curfew, my goons are out there, we're going to fuck up anybody that puts on a mask. We literally see them kill somebody who was looting and then put a mask.
And then pulling a mask over their head.
So, the all cops are bastards message in this show is
I think that, like, first of all, and then Punisher.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about Frank. Like, I don't want to recap the whole episode, but Frank being based, Frank is so unimpressed. In fact, he's offended. He is offended that you motherfuckers are got. They're like, look, we got our Punisher cosplay. What do you think about
just
our
like
Punisher
you.
We're just like, he's like, you bitches ain't like me. You not like me. Y'all don't know where my pain comes from. And he rolled up and was like, nah, I'm gonna kill his man. Cause he's nihilist. He wants to die. He wants somebody to take him out. And he's
not really successful in that.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Surprisingly, like shockingly, because he took like 3 shots, I think, in the back. and a lot of hits to the head. What the hell is his head made of?
My man is just he's made of spite. That's what he's made of. He just rolled up like he's John Wick, and he was. I mean, look,
right? So, he wasn't even good at fighting.
Well, but he killed like 8 people in that one scene. And we saw,
there was nothing Daredevil could do.
So remember we saw earlier in what was it earlier in the episode? You know, Matt, he's injured because of the you know, getting shot,
being shot thing.
But he's like, all right, we're gonna and then he knows the police roll up. Frank is in there. We find out that Karen called him in, and Karen's back. Yay! I was like, thank you, because Heather, God, man. We're gonna talk about Heather. But then they have this scene, this fight scene in Matt's apartment, and I'm like, cool, yeah, Matt beating people up. I'm like that. I like that. But I was cheering like I was watching a fucking game. As Frank was just like, nah. He told him, he's like, Red, I'm gonna kill every one of them. Like, don't you get and Daredevil knows when he's doing this thing, get the fuck out of the way and let him do what he's doing. Ooh, he was going in.
I mean, no, it's actually not entirely true. If he wanted to stop him, he would have stopped him.
Yeah, because, but he couldn't do that and stay alive.
Whenever, I mean, he could actually, because whenever this happens, when he wants to stop Punisher, they just end up fighting each other.
Yeah.
He didn't want to stop, so he was fine with them dying. He just didn't want to
be the one doing the kill.
Mess up his nice suit.
Let me say, that's some cowardly shit. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like that's some cowardly bullshit. Like, if you know Frank is, he is a hyena, not a hyena. You know he is a predator, and he is gonna kill everybody. Anybody, if he decided you're gonna die, you're gonna die. So he could easily have knocked him out. We know for sure he can knock out Frank Castle, right? He could have done that, and then that'd been the end of it. But no, he knows these are crooked cops, and they're not gonna be redeemed, and he lets it happen. Except that one guy, Cole North. Except Cole North, which, by the way, we find out. Well, we find out that Cole North is he actually did kill Hector Reyes, right? So
yeah, which is a huge twist, like from what he's like in the comics, because he's pretty much one of the best friends of Matt Murdock.
And I should read these comics, but I will say, fuck that guy, and I'm glad he got killed. So,
I mean, he's very different in the comics.
I actually don't think he's dead. I actually don't think he's dead, personally, but.
Maybe not, but maybe he will gonna have like a redemption arc. But considering how much they changed Heather, I'm not surprised that they changed Cole North either.
Yeah.
He can be like really a throwaway character in this. But
he sucks. I think
that it's also like part of the part of the message, because like there are no good cops.
They're just
And if this is the message, then that good cop guy from the comics that you like, not so good either.
No, he sucks. He like a good cop wouldn't be on this task force. A guy that's just misunderstood. And he's like, look, I went to. First of all, he's. I said this last time. You were like, well, he's good. No, I was like, nah, fuck that guy.
No, I was like working from what I knew from the comics. They didn't give us any background,
which I get. But that, like, the little we know about him was what Fish said about his background when he was in Chicago. We know he was unrepentant about coercing a confession through beating the shit out of somebody. He thinks he did the right thing. All right, you're automatically a bad cop. But you joined this task force. This task force is full of other guys. Yeah, this task force is full of people that are just like him, that are willing to break the law to uphold the law. That's not, if you can break the law to uphold the law, you shouldn't be a cop. That's just straight up.
Oh, depends on the law, though.
Well, I'm saying look, if you are willing to,
I mean, no. What you're saying is essentially that like you have to obey the order.
Yeah, if the law says you can't, if the law says you can't do something, and I can go to jail for doing the same thing. Like if I were beating a confession out of somebody and I'm not a cop, I go to jail for assault. These guys, they don't. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, this contention that the only way to uphold the law is to break the law is bullshit, and anyone who believes that needs to not be a cop, because you're not gonna uphold the law. You're gonna break the law. You're breaking the law. You should be punished for it instead of rewarded.
But it goes a little deeper and starts probably with the law itself.
Well,
Like what is the law?
Well, the start of the
Not
law.
in general, like, but what laws are we accepting and what laws are we not?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all
Very different,
accept.
because I've lived in a country that has ridiculous laws.
Yeah.
So
What I'm saying is, the law says you
and
can't.
you live in the same country.
The law says you can't assault somebody. So why do you get to do it if you're a police officer? Why? And in America, at least, you can't coerce a confession by beating the shit out of someone until they say what you want to say. That's not a real confession. They're saying what
shouldn't.
They're
but
saying,
apparently you can do it everywhere.
Yeah, they're saying what you want to hear so that you'll stop. That's not a real confession. That's just you. That's just someone, being hurt and trying to stop it. So
it's actually torture.
So yeah, so this guy, so that's his jacket. That's what's on his jacket. And then he links up with a bunch of other people that do that or worse. So none of them are good cops. Cole North was never good in my eyes. There was no redeeming him unless he repented of what he did. And he was like, I did what I had to do. Well, that to me is justification of bullshit. So you're not a good cop. That's the end of the story.
On the other hand, if we take Daredevil, I don't remember exactly, but I think like at some points he did do the same thing, and he still considers himself to be like a representative of the law of sorts, and not like a lawyer, like not as a lawyer, but as a superhero.
Yeah, I think he considers,
and he would do that, and he would like take this responsibility.
I think
he would beat somebody up to get a confession.
But he says that he's not a police officer, and he knows he's not.
But he makes the decision, like who gets beaten up for doing something.
Exactly, and
he still takes the same responsibility. He just doesn't have like the badge.
If he's ever caught, he goes to jail because he's breaking the law. Like, so they're like, I get vigilantes aren't good either, but like they are explicitly illegal. Cops doing this. That's why Frank Castle has such a problem with these Punisher wannabes. Is he's like, no, you're supposed to uphold the law. You're supposed to be doing the right thing. I'm not. I know I'm not doing the right thing. I'm murdering people out of a sense of like justice, whatever you want to call justice. But I'm not right. So like, you guys are clowns. He says that you guys clown. You're not doing it right. Mm-hmm. You're doing it wrong. I'm not. I know I'm doing wrong. You motherfuckers are acting like I'm doing right, and you're stupid. So anyway, I was cheering for him kicking ass and killing.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like we're jumping. Oh yeah, Heather, she sucks. I hate her.
Oh yeah, I just like people hate her because like
she's trash.
You know what?
She's not listening. Like what? Like what?
First of all, she is a therapist, so she's not a good therapist, but okay. It's not her that's trash, okay?
She sucks. I hate her.
Dating Matt Murdock is what
Matt
is the trashiest thing a person could do.
Okay, Matt sucks in this
so
too.
Stupid. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, first of all, he woke up and immediately called her Karen. Who does that? Like,
fair.
What's wrong with you?
Fair. He still loves her, but
and also, we will see in that post that they're supposed to be broken up by the end of the episode, like the finale.
Mm-hmm.
But how does she know they broken up?
He moved on in her
just
heart.
Yeah, that's called cheating.
Look, he's moved on in his heart.
And we know he does that a lot. So
look, and look, all I'm saying, Heather, she's working for Fisk. Okay, so that
her political choices definitely suck, but also I understand where she's coming from. that is I think the beauty of and I think I said it before, like on the previous stream, that it was a great idea to have someone so close to him
Mhm.
be on the other side of it, because that's literally how it happens to many people.
Yeah. Their values don't align, I
Because
think.
it's like like that Donald Trump has some really good ideas.
I mean, I mean, and they lean so hard into the Trump thing, and I don't think that was intentional. It was intentional, but not as much. But it's like,
I think it does come from the comic, because essentially Trump is not doing anything new,
yeah,
anything that no one before him hasn't done. And Fisk did these things in the comics.
yeah,
That was his sole platform. Like, I love the city, and like, oh, kill all the vigilantes.
kill all the
That's all
immigrants,
he
kill all
is.
the, register all the, but like,
Yeah, but you can replace it with anything.
yeah.
It's
Eh,
just a universal metaphor.
You have Heather's. I mean, look, she takes Matt's warning. He does, he's like seriously for real, and she goes on and takes the position anyway, which tells me, yes, they are broken up. They have to be because, look, if my significant other, someone who I love and loves me or cares about me, is saying, "There, look, seriously, this is a bad idea. This is not like you shouldn't associate with these people." And she's been their therapist, right? she she's been sensing that some shit's not being said,
I don't think
and
that it's
also,
even acceptable in terms, like, she was the therapist. So I don't think she can work for him
well, I mean,
in this capacity. I don't think it's
maybe
ethical.
not, but I don't think so either. But who cares about ethics? But the other thing is that she can't have lived in New York and not have heard some shit about him. He literally went to jail, and it was a big deal, right? So,
Yeah, then they cleared up his name,
but
didn't they?
even if they cleared it, there's still all of this stuff surrounding it. So, like, she's still going, and she's ignoring Matt what he has to say about it, even though he was one of the
Because he doesn't really say anything.
well, but she
That's
still,
also an issue, because he's not honest with her. Of
yeah,
course, if
that
he
there
if he
is that
did
too.
tell, like, I fought him like 15 times last week. I don't know. He beat my ass up left and right. I don't know. I saw him kill people. Come on.
Yeah,
If he said all that, like, it's his fault for not being honest.
it's true. But I think he was so adamant about it that it's clear that they can't be together.
But no,
If
I
she's
don't
made
know.
if she's made this move, and he has made it pretty clear, like he's trying to stay out, but once he finally, he's like, no, he's
Well,
not a
he
good
didn't
guy.
tell her that like, we're not gonna be together if
Well,
you work for peace.
yeah,
He said, like, I don't like him.
I don't think
Okay,
he
you don't
said
like
it.
him.
I don't think he said it, but I think it's pretty clear. But I mean, we'll see. I don't really like
I
her.
think knowing Matt Murdock, she does not know that they're broken up. He knows that they're broken up, and that's just the way it is. He's gonna go ahead and cheat on her.
I think real quick, Daniel sucks and I hate him, but also I like
Oh my God, yes,
I
he is
like that
so
I hate
awful.
him. Um,
Yeah,
the
I
it's
think that it's a brilliant performance also, and it's a brilliantly written character, because it's hard not to hate him. It's impossible not to hate
he sucks and I hate him. uh,
him.
Fisk doing a Michael Myers impression by crushing that guy's head was
Oh yeah.
that was a thing. I don't know why that guy thought he was gonna get away, but he thought he was the only. That's so wild that the only good cop was the commissioner, and like he just ran. Like that's how you know Fish knows he's running shit because he can just kill this guy and disappear him, and nobody, he gets to control the narrative.
In a room full of people.
Yeah, in a room full of cops as a show of force, but also to be like I'm running shit, and also you guys could be here too if you fuck around.
Yeah,
Uh,
and also this is such a Fisk thing. This is like the something so defining for him. Like, not defining in this moment, but it's the way he operates. Like, that's what we expect from him.
yeah, it's
Because we keep forgetting, like, you could watch this show and you can forget easily how violent he is.
Yeah.
Personally violent. And yeah, he beat up that Adam guy, but somehow he survived,
But
which was just a shocker for me.
I think the thing,
But the point is that that's what he does. And his like freakish strength again also plays a part in this.
I like that because it also goes back, like this validates what was going on in Hawkeye, where he was not was a
Mhm.
Hawkeye where they were like, well, how is he so damn strong? There you go.
Yeah.
But I think the thing about Fisk is that he is so good at, being sophisticated in his dress and the way, his mannerisms and everything and the way he speaks, that it covers up the fact that underneath it all, he is a rough and tumble,
Yeah,
not rough and
brute.
tumble. He's a fucking murderer, and he's a brute,
Yeah,
as you
but you
said.
know what?
He covers it up very
Again,
well.
he is it's funny because you said that he's so good at being sophisticated, which he kind of is, but he's also not.
He's a
It
poser.
all yes, he does all these things, but they're not natural for him. He does them
Yeah.
like out of habit. Every time you see that it's going through the motions and doing repetitive things, and like listening to some classical music, pretending that you like it, because that's how you think people from the society which you want to enter would act. So he's
Yeah.
not enjoying it. He's not living it. He's just posing.
Right. At the end of the day, I think look, I'm going to say this. I didn't love this. I liked it a lot. There's some real great moments. I didn't like the cliffhanger aspect of it. I didn't like the kind of like, oh, we're going to come together and we're going to oppose him. And it's clearly like, hey, there's more episodes to come back next week or come back next year. So I didn't love that. I don't think it was the greatest finale or the tightest finale. I think it had a lot of really good aspects. Um,
I
but
think it was a great finale for part one.
yeah, I think I wasn't totally satisfied because of the way it kind of ended, but I think it sets up a lot of cool things at the end. And I think the other thing that kind of disappoints me about this whole season, what disappoints me about this season is that at the end of the day, Fisk is a mastermind with small ideas. Like he's no Doctor Doom. He's no like at the end of the day, it's money and power. That's boring as fuck. We live in a world with people that do shit like this. I'm not okay. Cool. You get to be president of the United States, and all you're doing it is to put money in your pocket and the pocket of your friends, and to like stick it to brown people. That's boring as hell. Like it, but this is the real world. We don't get to have villains that are as cool as Lex Luthor. We don't get to have villains whose motivations are like highbrow and really think, from a real
Yeah,
thinker's
but
perspective.
Dr. Doom's motivation is
I
just to
mean,
stick it to
we
Reed.
we get Elon Musk. That's our Lex Luthor, and that's how you know we're in the worst timeline because we don't get cool shit. We get lame ass, dudes who were bullied as kids, and now they just want to be a poser at every fucking thing and pay people to make their video game accounts look like they really know what the fuck they're doing. That's our Lex Luthor. In the MCU, in the MCU, I want the
Can you
villain.
imagine him doing something like
Like
that?
that's so fucking lame. It's the lamest shit. But that's the world we live in. I want in the MCU, I want the bad guys to like have some real ambition to do some like to be doing
Okay,
things
but
for a reason. And the reason is literally so that they could remember Red Hook is going to be a no, nobody, no rules. We can do it. It's going to be Madripoor. Red Hook is literally just going to be Madripoor, and that's boring as fuck to me. That as a
you
motivation,
know what?
it's so boring.
I would disagree with you here because I think that it's cool to have villains like Doctor Doom. Obviously, I wouldn't want to live in the world where they're doing some evil stuff, but well, the world under Doom does sound appealing.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah, but the fact that, like, after I read Daredevil comics, I thought that Kingpin is probably the most terrifying, one of my favorite villains in the comics, and also the most terrifying. Because exactly because he's very realistic. Exactly because when I read this, I know that people like that exist, and I know that the people like they do have the same ambitions, they do have the same methods of achieving their goals, and they don't stop. Like, it's really hard to stop them, but I think the point is to remember that some people try to stop them,
Right.
and that it's not impossible, and it's the most realistic depiction of what we have today. It's not even altered in any way. It's not fiction. It's something that can really happen.
Right. That sucks.
It sucks, but it's also a little bit cathartic to, I don't know, see them being taken down.
Yeah, because that doesn't happen.
Although you do know that the next week they will come back again.
But it's because it doesn't happen in the real world. What takes down people like that in the real world?
That's a fantasy. That's the power fantasy of being able to just take them down.
Yeah, in the real world, the hubris and overreach is what gets them. Not like, because they're never smart. They're never as smart as their plans need them to be. They never are. They rely on us being stupid and not them being really smart. But in America, they got plenty of us being stupid. So, like, they get their time. So anyway, I like this season. I thought it was pretty good. Like, actually, I thought it was great. But I also think it's the least of the ones I've seen so far of Daredevil. But, I've only seen 1.5 seasons. So it's, take that as you will. But it's definitely worth a watch, I think. And I can't wait for season 2. So, wow, this was it's a long episode. We are done, y'all. We are done now. I guarantee you, no more stuff to talk about. So, if somehow we missed,
we could talk about Sinners.
We're at 2 hours and 7 minutes. I think we got to stop. So, what did you guys think about what we had to say? What did you think about the topics at hand? If you want to say something nice or troll us, you know what to do. Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. Of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, blurred_forest1 on Instagram and Threads, and it's super_not_funny show on TikTok. While you're doing that, do me a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see this podcast and all of the other content we make on Blurred Force 1. And of course, I couldn't do this by myself. Can you imagine listening to me for 2 hours? Good Lord. Ugh. I needed Polly here because, I need help to get through all of this nerd stuff. So, Polly, where can they reach you on social media?
As usual, _mixed on Threads, on Tumblr, on Instagram.
And fan base. Not fan base.
Not fan base now, not anymore. And if you have some nasty shit to say about Reed Richards, don't forget to tag me.
Yes, always be there. Tag @co_mixed, and she will cut. It's like the bat signal. If you say Reed sucks, she will show up. So thanks everyone for joining us. We are on this is episode 179 of the Supercast. It's been a good time. I want to say before we go watch Sinners. Do yourself a favor.
And then go watch Sinners again.
Yeah, it's probably the best movie of the year so far, I think. So go check that out, definitely. But until next week, we're going to talk about more superhero stuff. And until then, I've been Mo, your comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by my good friend Polly. We'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.